And we're live. Hello everyone, this is Dwight Woods, the Jeet Kune Do Rebel, and welcome to the Jeet Kune Do Dialogues episode number 71. This is going to be with Felix Macias Jr. of original Oakland Jeet Kune Do. So, hello.
All right.
Okay. That's better.
There you go. Put your phones on. Hello, Mr. Woods. What's up? How you doing?
I'm doing good. I can't see you yet. I hear
Oh,
you.
there you
All right.
are.
Now I see you. What's happening?
Nothing much. We were having a hell of a time trying to get online over here with you guys.
That's
We
okay.
finally got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
yeah.
hey, you have an angelic halo all around you. That's good.
Oh, that's probably from the window in the back. Yeah. Wow. It's great to be on your show. Thanks.
Same here. So I was telling everybody before you got on that this is a first. You're the first person from the Oakland lineage that I think I've had on the show.
Yeah.
But it's another first. You're the first dialogue partner I've had that I dreamt about the night before.
Oh, is that right? Wow.
I was in your garage, and you were training me in Chisao. I dreamt about
really?
that. I dreamt about that last night.
Well, that's a good omen. That's a really good omen. Wow.
That's pretty cool,
Wow.
right? So I said on my other program that in talking with you that I was going to fill in some historical blanks for myself because
Yes.
I don't know a whole lot about the Oakland legacy, right?
Yeah.
So but let's start here. Tell me about the time that you stepped on Bruce Lee's new shoes.
Well, I was probably about 10 years old, and it was me and my little brother. He was probably like about six years old. And well, the first time we went to go see Bruce Lee, it was we didn't know who Bruce Lee was. We knew who Kato was, Kato of the Green Hornet. And so we went to go see him the first time. We walked in. Bruce was there. He walked in, and he had about 5 other Chinese dudes with him. They were all dressed really nice. I think they looked like his bodyguards, to be honest with you. So he was sitting there. Father nudged us up to come see him, and by accident, I went up to say hello, and I stepped on his shoe. He turned around and looked at me, and I was all, damn, And then he just smiled and brought me and my brother in, and he signed us to give us an autograph.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those 5 Chinese guys that would Alan Joe and George Lee probably have been in that group, you think?
No,
that
not
was
at all.
not them.
No, these guys they looked like they were good martial artists. The George Lee, Alan Joe were, they mainly were Jimmy Lee's friends back in the day. They hung around Jimmy. A lot of weightlifting, a lot of things. They had the hair and the nice clothes and things like that. And they were mainly weightlifters.
Right.
As far as I know, they learned some martial art, but not very much.
Okay.
For us and everything else, it was Jimmy Lee. Jimmy Lee was the main guy there. That's why him and Bruce. That's why they had the meeting with him and Bruce, because my father had been studying with Jimmy a few years before that, probably like late '62.
Okay.
And they kept hearing the word about this guy Bruce Lee coming to Oakland from Hong Kong, supposed to be really good, really fast.
Right.
And at the time, Jimmy Lee was doing the Iron Palm with Al Novak.
Yes.
And my father learned the Iron Palm from Jimmy Lee. He's one of the few guys that learned it.
Okay.
And back then they were doing Hung Guard, they were doing the Fujao, the Black Tiger, they were doing Silam, a lot of things like that, and especially the Iron Palm.
Right.
And then Bruce came aboard, and Jimmy was already doing a lot of things similar to Bruce, which a lot of people didn't know about. So the reason for their meeting was to meet up and further discuss different hand techniques.
Right.
Put the hands together, you do a Chisao, you come in with a technique, and you get it taken away, and the other guy comes in. That's the beginning of something.
Yeah.
And they were like pretty intrigued with how everything just clicked together,
Okay.
Bruce was a naturally gifted athlete, of course, and it was his thing in life. And Jimmy, being 20 years older, was more laid back. He didn't like the spotlight, Bruce did. And Bruce didn't like to teach a lot. you know, didn't have a lot of patience. Jimmy did. And a lot of people think that Jimmy Lee was the number 3 man, or he was a student. He took the role of the student with Bruce because that's the way he's seen it. Right. You know, he wanted to, you know, he just was in the background.
Right.
But I can guarantee it, though, Bruce got pretty good because of Jimmy. You know, Bruce taught him the iron palm. He taught him the conditioning. He taught him how to get the body fit. He taught him a lot of things.
Right.
He taught him a lot of things like that.
Because he was the bodybuilder long before Bruce Lee was a bodybuilder.
Oh, Jimmy Lee's lineage goes a lot. He did a lot of things. He did boxing, jiu-jitsu, gymnastics, a lot of weightlifting, judo. You know, he did all the hardcore martial art back in the day too. A lot of the silam, you know, and of course the iron palm.
And all of that he would have shared with Bruce Lee, like even the boxing.
Oh yeah, right? Of course. You know, but, well, you know, 2 Chinese dudes getting together like this—that's their culture. You know, that's their culture. That's how they do things. Yeah. And well, they liked each other a lot, so it escalated. You know, there's a whole lot of technique to be found in there, and they both found it together. You know? Okay. Yeah, that's what happened.
So one of the pictures that I used for the postcard, I don't know if you saw it, but it's you and I assume it's your dad, right? In like a gray hat and like a grayish shirt. Is that you and your dad?
that's my father. Yeah.
He looks like Carlos Santana, man.
A little bit, huh? Yeah, he used to think he looked like Charles Bronson back in the day. Yeah, that's what you always said. Yeah.
Yeah. Your dad was a boxer?
Oh, back in the day, yeah, he did some boxing and he did some judo. But then he met up with this guy by the name of Manuel. I can't recall his last name, but he was a Latin dude, and he told my dad about Jimmy Lee, because Jimmy Lee he had a school, him and Al Novak in Hayward, California, where I live. It was on Mission. Right. I got the business card and everything. It goes way back, and that's where my father started there. He started there with Jimmy and Al Novak. And then from there, they went to Jimmy Lee's house. And then years later, that's when Bruce came into the picture, you know. And him and Linda and the kids stayed with Bruce for a couple of years, you know.
Right.
And
and the school. So the school was in the garage on the lower level.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, we took steps to go down when we got there, you know.
Yeah. So your setup is like identical to that, because you guys operate your deal out of a garage also, right?
Yeah, I do. You know, I got a mortgage to pay. I would love to have a school, but sometimes it's seasonal. You can't depend on students to keep everything going. Right. You know, it comes and goes. So the garage is it's efficient enough right now to where it handles who we got and what we need. And of course, I got friends and other people that have schools and have other places, other venues we can operate at too. Right.
Like Tom Robles, is it?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. I do, because when I was doing the research on you, his name came up, so I wanted to ask you about him.
Yeah, he's one of my students. He's a student for me 20 years, and he's one of the teachers. Wow. He's authorized to teach. You know. Wow. And Alex, he got a hold of you right here. Alex Witter. He came to me years back too. He's gold medalist, 1996 Taekwondo, and Pan Am Games, I believe it is, and he did it in LA in '96. All right. And he's been working out with me for many years, and he's on his way to becoming a teacher as well. You know.
You got good people, man.
Yeah, we're surrounded by good guys. I got friends in different martial arts, all kinds of different things you can think of, you know, that we really need. Yeah.
Okay, so to this day, there's a lot of exchange and interplay between you guys and guys from other methods?
Well, I don't outsource a whole hell of a lot. You know, I do what we learned back in the day. And with the things that we do, it's a little different from the LA version, because I feel what we do here is very internal, and it goes along with the Qigong. You know, we do the Qigong. I teach the iron palm. We do and make our own herbs, you know, the jiaos. We do all kinds of stuff. Ours is like I said, an internal art. You know, it's deep. It's pretty deep. Right. It ain't well known. Due to the fact that LA's got all, you know, that's the spot there, you know. You got Hollywood, you got everybody there.
It's LA. Come on, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask you about that, because you just said something there, because there's a line on your website. So I'll repeat it, and I want you to just break it down for me. It says, we maintain the essence of traditional Kung Fu while evolving to stay relevant.
Yeah, what I mean by that is, you know, a lot of the old style Kung Fus and karates and whatever have you, it's written in stone that it's for sometimes you can't rewrite their history. You know, I know it's a history and a culture, you know, it's a format you follow, but sometimes at the same time, martial arts is evolving and changing. So therefore, what you have to do is you got to evolve and change with it.
Right.
You know, Bruce was good at that. He's a fighter. He like a lot of people have a misconception. Oh, Bruce Lee took 26 different martial arts and he made JKD, which is that's not true at all.
Yeah.
His father taught him Tai Chi when he was little.
Right.
And then of course Jeet Man, the famous Jeet Man. And he also spent, I think, a year in New York with Jun Foon Mark, the famous Mantis guy.
Mantis.
He taught Bruce. Yes. He taught Bruce Southern and the Northern Mantis.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Bruce had friends in every different martial art you can think of, you know, and, you know, they all worked out together. Just because you worked out together with somebody doesn't mean you were teaching each other. You just worked out, had a good time, you know?
Yeah. That's funny. Listen, I wanted to ask you something. Do you guys ever get in trouble with the parking when people come over to the garage?
Sometimes. Sometimes, yeah. We do. Once in a while.
Yeah. So your dad was a boxer, so you box, right? So boxing plays a really important role in what you guys do?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I like the footing of the boxing.
Okay.
I don't care for the fencing aspect too much.
Okay.
You know, I prefer a tighter defense. Whereas the boxer, they're very fluid. They can move in and out, side to side. Some boxers are bangers, some are counter punches, some are both. And that's what I try to teach my guys, how to learn all of it in case you ever run into somebody that has a little bit of everything, you know. You got to be able to adapt right away. And if you're not used to that, then it's going to be hard on you. You know, so the way to do that is to watch how people train, what they do, how they move. And the strong points are what I look at. Take away a lot of strong points, and usually a lot of these guys get confused, you know?
Right, yeah.
And so because that's by being too traditional sometimes.
Okay, I get it.
Sometimes the hardest fighter is the guy, a street fighter, don't care what he does, how he comes at you, hit you with whatever, they don't care, because they're all over the place.
Yeah.
Sometimes the easy ones are the ones that are in schools, because they're taught proper, you know?
Yeah.
It's the way it is.
And they're limited to the way they're taught.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
See, a good boxer, I know a lot of good boxers.
Okay.
And I've even worked with some of the pros, you know, some of the professional fighters and everything. You know, we did that too. And what it is a lot of people forget how good a boxer can manipulate you, move you around. He can take your hands and hit off you, kind of like a Pacquiao and a Mayweather. You could throw at them, but they ricochet everything off, parry everything off, and hit you at the same time when they're moving. So that's the part of it that I like is the whole total package, you know. And like by outsourcing too much, you can do yourself. Yeah, it might harm you more because now you got 10 different styles you want to come from, but you don't know which way to stand. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. You said something earlier, and I wanted to ask you, can you think of something else, right, that only the people in Oakland know about Bruce Lee and James Lee and Jeet Kune Do? Can you think of something else?
Something that they only know? Oh, the inside.
Yeah, only the people in Oakland know.
The inside fighting, the total inside fighting. I'm not talking about outside or one little cheese out here and there. I'm talking about the combinations on the inside, similar to what Bruce and Chuck Norris did in the movie together. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking those techniques on the inside. Only my guys got that.
Right. I know which section you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, the inside, totalness on the inside, not the little flick here and there and the jumping around. I'm talking about when they get inside, the inside technique. You know? Yeah, it's kind of weird because 3 ways that I teach when I got my guys, I don't care if they're beginners or if they're advanced students, but everybody learns within the same boundaries of what we teach.
Okay.
First step is only 3 ways for me. It's the outside technique, you know, you practice, and then when you get better, what we call is the halfway in technique. You're closer. And then when you feel comfortable being on the inside, then we do the inside technique. Similar to the Wing Chun.
Okay.
You know, like that, yeah. So those are the 3 ways that I teach, and the rest is, well, it's up to you, you know. You've been taught to protect yourself, so do what you got to do to win.
So that outside, halfway in, and inside applies to distances, to punching and kicking, elbowing, kneeing, everything?
Everything, yes.
That's cool. That's
It's like
cool.
trying to hit somebody with an uppercut 5 feet away. You're not going to do it. You know?
Right. Yeah. Okay. So another thing from your website. Oh, you know what? Let me ask you this. Is it only recently that you guys became a little bit more vocal and visible?
Yeah, it's sort of. It's like, you know, all I can say is the way I feel about it, the whole thing. We're not entirely very welcome to the LA branches and everything else down that side because of the difference in the way things panned out, you know, the way, like not stepping on any toes or nothing. You know, I've heard a lot of good things about, you know, Danny Eno Santos, and I know he's pretty good. My father met him. He said he's a really nice guy. But they do a lot of stick. They do more stick than the traditional gung fu hand, I think. You know? Yeah. And it's like, for us, we know how to use a stick and a knife too. It's just how you fight. It's how you move your hand. You know, if you got a short style, why widen your style way out? You know what I mean? Doesn't make any sense. You know, if you're gonna punch short, then why come from left field for a punch? Right. You're not supposed to do that.
But keep in mind that there's a short stick styles too, okay?
Oh yeah, I know you do stick. Right? I know you do. I will mention this one guy though. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the guy. He's a Balintawak guy. What the heck's his name? Oh my God, I know the guy's name. He's really, really good. I really enjoy watching him. He's from the Philippines, but he comes a lot to North Carolina and Texas. Bobby Tabuada. Bobby, that guy, he's got a set of hands and sticks. He's something else. I like that guy. He's really good.
Oh yeah. You know, I mean, I've been talking the past couple of weeks on my other show about some of the things that the Filipino arts can bring into the Jeet Kune Do. You know, I'm not at all that this is the only way to get it. It just happens to be something, you know, that some people find worth investigating. So another line from the website, because this is here's the thing. When I went looking for you, I went to OaklandJeetKuneDo.com and there was nothing there.
Yeah, it's not there anymore. We're doing a new site. I'll let everybody know what it is.
Right. No, I can tell them it's jkdoakland.com.
Yeah, I think one of the guys here is redoing the site. Yeah. So he's going to have it up and running. Well, but if you want some other information from an old site that we had, you can get on www.californiajkd.com, and that has a lot of our old stuff on there. Okay. They'll give you pictures. There's an article that was written. Okay. We were hooked up by Johnny Williams. Yes. No, Johnny Williams through I do believe it was Inside Kung Fu. Yes. It was a quarterly Jeet Kune Do magazine. Yes. Before they ended up going out of business, I believe. Right. And Johnny Williams set that up for us. And a lot of people never gave him credit. They thought it was all me and my other friend. Yeah. But it was like an interview story. And it hadn't been for Johnny getting this out, it would have never got out. Because other sources were trying to put a stop to it. Okay. And Dave Cater, who was he was the head writer there. You know, I just basically told them both, hey, you know, I'm ready to say the hell with it. You know, I didn't want to do it anymore. Yeah. Then Johnny says, well, give me a day or two and don't worry. So he did, and it went on and we got it out. You know?
So that's over at CaliforniaJKD.com.
Yeah, you'll be able to see the article through there, yes. Okay. But once we get done, I'll let everybody know what the new site is. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, I like the look of the JKD Oakland.com. I like the look of that. Yeah. That's coming along real well. Yeah, it's
starting to circulate a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
It's, you know, the reason why I use the original Oakland JKD.com is because that's where our roots and our history come from.
Right.
You know, my father spent, it's got to have been at least 10 years with Jimmy and Bruce there. He started with Jimmy before Bruce even got there.
I see. I
and
see.
then up until they both passed in 72, 73.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and because Jimmy Lee was sick. And so I remember it was before Christmas, I think. I want to say December. And we went to go see Jimmy. My father wanted to go see him. And he had passed, and he didn't know he did. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was the story for that back then. But he spent a lot of times there. He spent a lot of time with Jimmy. He learned a lot of things from Jimmy. You know,
Right.
a lot of the gung fu stuff, you know, that I'm
Right.
talking about. You know, everybody has their own melting pot. The way I figure, well, pick your own. Pick what you like. You know, not everybody's going to like what we do. And some people are going to like different art. So if you're comfortable with what you like, well, stick with it. That's what I say.
Yeah. And I imagine then just like with Bruce Lee, James Lee, I don't know, you know, he didn't expect to pass away, so he didn't leave things, you know, structured in a particular way. Okay, when I'm gone, you know, you do this and you do that and you do whatever. So you guys pretty much had
but
to.
see, a lot of the guys at the Oakland school didn't like the fact that Jimmy Lee was given the student name under Bruce. Jimmy Lee had been teaching there for years. That's his house. You know, he had been teaching a lot of different martial artists and a lot of people. He taught everybody. He didn't care what color you were.
Right.
You know, what race, creed, color, whatever you call it. If you wanted to learn and protect yourself, he taught you. But you had to go in there and you had to work for it. You know? And a lot of people didn't like that either, especially some of the Asian community back in the day. They didn't like that. Teaching non-Chinese, you know. And El Novak was the first guy to get there into the Iron Palm Society with Jimmy Lee, you know, because of that. So Jimmy Lee basically opened the door for him too.
Right. So what do you guys have like insight on the whole Wong Jak Man thing then? Because, you know, you hear that if Al Novak was already training with Jimmy Lee, right, before Bruce Lee came along, that means that non-Chinese were already being trained by Chinese martial artists, right?
Oh yeah, of course. You know, well, going back to the Wong Jak Man thing you asked me about, as far as I know, my father was going to go. Jimmy told him about it, but he didn't make it somehow. They all just happened. And for what they were saying, it wasn't really a good fight at all. Bruce was kind of mad. It was sloppy. They both went at it, and Jackman, I guess, but what the story goes that they were saying, you know, Bruce Lee ran behind him, hitting him, and he fell, and he grabbed, and that was it, and they gave up, right? You know, and I guess both of them were kind of like, they were kind of disappointed at the way they fought.
Right.
You know, especially Bruce. When he did a movie, and he did a technique in there, my father said that he expected that thing to look perfect. You know, he wouldn't accept nothing less. If you had your foot wrong, your hand wasn't supposed to be, or if you didn't pay attention, you know, basically get the hell out of here, they would say. They wanted you to learn. Their reputations were on the line. You know? So when I teach, I do the same thing. I do the best I can. The guys I got here, they're really, really good. And it's not just my reputation, it's theirs as well. So we kind of like protecting our school legacy through the James Lee name, which naturally includes Bruce, you know. So we like to, we're just paying tribute. We're giving back to what we took.
Yeah, as you mentioned, tribute. So I was looking at the logo for original Oakland, and it has the dragon and the tiger.
Yes.
Right, which is kind of like, that's the title of Greg Lee's book, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess it would be.
Right.
Well, listen. Excuse me one sec. Craig Lee wrote that book with Sid Campbell.
Yeah.
Sid Campbell was doing Gojin Ryu, I think, karate, if I'm pronouncing it right. But I took what little notes and what little pictures, what little photos I had to Sid as they were writing the book. So there was you know, they both wrote the book. But Sid Campbell passed away about, I'm going to say 6-7 years ago, I think, maybe more or less, you know. But that was a lot of his work as well.
Right.
You know, a lot of his work. Yes.
So I saw that and I thought, oh, okay, so this is the real Oakland stuff, because there's the dragon and the tiger, you know,
Well, the
referring.
dragon was, yes, you're right. The dragon
referring
was
to
Bruce,
and
the
James.
tiger was Jimmy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Sweet. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. Another thing, another line from the website. We have the skeleton key to open other systems, but they have no key to open ours.
That was said by, was that, I'm not sure that was either Bruce or Jimmy, I guess.
I think that was James
You
Lee.
know, yeah. But
Yeah.
what he meant by that was, but that, if you get the meaning on that, for us it meant,
But
we
that's
got
why
the
I turned to
ability.
you. I turned to you for the
Yeah.
meaning.
Yeah, see, Jimmy's students and Bruce, they taught the way to get to there, to open their doors, to watch how they do things. Kind of like cutting off the strong points and things that everybody does by habit. And once you get a hold of that, you stop that, you virtually take the key and shut everything off.
Right.
And then, but they can't figure you out because you have the source
Right.
to intercept everything. That's why they called it the intercepting fist.
Yeah.
So that's why they were saying something like that.
Okay. So the Wong Jak Man fight happens, and as
Yeah.
the story goes, the known history, that's when Bruce Lee starts to analyze even more his approach to fighting and what have you. So some people will say that is the start of Jeet Kune Do, even though the name itself might have been coined later on, right?
Well, in a way, I guess Bruce, you know, at the beginning he called himself Jun Fan because he had to give it something to give
Yes.
to the students.
Right.
Jun Fan was Bruce Lee's name. Everybody knows that, right?
Right.
You know, and the Jeet Kune Do thing came later to I guess advertise even more how the way of the intercepting fist, to intercept the person, to intercept everything. But
Right.
you know, you can totally intercept all you like, but you got to be aware that you're going to get countered on that as well. So you got to be aware you got to have the capability to continue and cut technique, and that's where the shorthand comes in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to be able to counter when they move. You know, like
Right.
a boxer. You
Yeah.
know? Same thing. Yeah.
So to the best of your knowledge, let's say like the day after or the week after the fight with Wong Jak Man, what happened differently? What did James Lee and Bruce Lee start doing differently?
Started training sharper. You know,
Yeah.
that's what they did. It's like Bruce was not happy. He won't accept average or, well, that's okay. He didn't care if it, you know, the students they were teaching, if they didn't do it up to par, it was not acceptable. You know, because if you go out and you got to defend yourself and something happens, they're going to think, well, your technique you taught them ain't no good. You know?
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean? You have to continue what they're teaching you, and you got to sharpen everything up.
Yeah.
And Bruce was a fanatic on being perfect, you know? And
Yeah.
that little fight they had was more or less like a little schoolyard fight, you know, that people were talking about. Here in Oakland, they talked about that a lot. And it came and went like anything else, you know, like everything does, you know.
Yeah.
And
But
know,
isn't it amazing though? Isn't it amazing? It was a little thing at the time, but now there's a movie about it.
yeah, that movie, anything to sell tickets, right? You know, I mean, in my opinion, that should have been a damn commercial, not a movie, right? You know. But anyways, yeah, people are going to do things and they're going to fabricate it a lot, and
Right.
it's like movies, you know. Like I tell the guys, same thing. You watch Superman, he can't fly in real life, you know. So you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So fabrication.
What about the Warrior? The thing that's going on Cinemax. I don't have Cinemax, so I haven't seen it.
Me either. I haven't seen it. I've seen clips.
Okay.
It looks pretty good though. It looks really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. You know,
I wonder if they're giving it that same kind of ridiculous, you know, Hollywood treatment. You know, where you
yeah, well, of course.
You know, you got to spice
course.
things up or whatever. Yeah. So how did the term Jeet Kune Do get, even because it was coined in LA? So how did the term Jeet Kune Do get up to Oakland?
Well, being coined in LA or not, I don't know. It was actually coined there or brought up because Bruce traveled back and forth.
Right.
You know.
Okay.
And it could have been coined there through the movie, through the series Longstreet. If you remember Longstreet back in the day, where it really was, where it really came out.
Yeah.
Because growing up for us, Kung Fu wasn't well known. Karate was, and Jiu-Jitsu and Judo.
Yes.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
Nobody knew what Kung Fu was, or, you know, we called it Kung Fu. We didn't call it Kung Fu, you know.
Right.
Back, you know, the pronunciation. And then now there's mixed martial arts, and you got a lot of Aikido coming out. You got a lot of things happening now. And there's starting to be a lot of good fighters in all sports, and things are tightening up. It's just Jeet Kune Do came out, made it famous probably in the Longstreet version, you know?
Okay, yeah. Did you guys in Oakland and Hayward have a Chinese Kung Fu theater that everybody would go to?
Once in a while. We go to we would spend 75 cents when we were kids to go to the movies and watch, we'd watch Five Fingers of Death, Billy Jack, you know, all those guys, no, back in the day, you know.
Yeah.
And of course the drive-in.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Now, I swear to you, man, at least once a year, I still watch Jackie Chan in a movie called Snake and Crane Arts of Shaolin. Every year I got to watch that thing, right?
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. So the Oakland Jeet Kune Do scene, it's pretty much just you guys. There's nobody else really doing anything, is there? Like
no, not really.
Maintaining the legacy, right?
Well, the only other guy that tries to maintain it, and he does, because he spent some time with Jimmy, you know, Gary Dill. He's from Oklahoma. And Gary Dill spent about 14, 15 months with Jimmy. He learned a lot of things, and he does his thing there in Oklahoma now. And he was in law enforcement. He was I guess a private detective. He's retired now, but he still teaches there too. We stay in touch, you know, share a lot of things together and stuff. Yeah. But he was
but in your neck of the woods, it's you guys are the ones carrying the torch, huh?
Pretty much. There's other JKD schools around here now that I'm knowing about, but it's still kind of different, you know.
That's the more modern guys, right?
That's a lot of the it would be the LA stuff, a lot of the LA things, you know. From there,
Yeah. What gosh, something came into my mind and then it went straight back out. Anyhow, well, listen, let me ask you this, because I always ask whoever's on the show with me about their frustrations carrying the Jeet Kune Do torch, you know, and the answers vary, because some people are full-time teachers, and then some people, you know, have a garage operation like you. But what are some of the frustrations that you might come across with in the teaching, or then in what people come to you looking for?
Well, for the teaching, it's you know, sometimes irritating because you know not everybody's here forever, and kind of I think about it a lot, and I got to make sure that what I teach is going to stay, you know, within what we do, you know, within the fundamentals and the foundation. Yeah, and it ain't going to end up like everybody else's JKD art where they're all fighting about who's who, you know. Then they go to change it, they change it so they can change it for their benefit, you know, or for the money. I don't teach for the money, you know. I teach for, you know, my people to, you know, for protection. Yeah. You know, how to fight, how to protect your family, yourself, and everything else. That's my main concern, you know, for all that. Yeah. And that's probably my biggest worry right now is that, you know, is making sure that, you know, if I'm not here anymore, my father ain't here anymore, that we have guys capable of continuing on doing what we do. You know, that's the main concern here.
Right. Yeah. When people come to you, do they come mainly because they've heard that yours is a Jeet Kune Do place, or do they just hear there's a martial art thing going on over there in Hayward?
A little bit of everything.
Go check it out. Really?
Yeah. Sometimes they come here for comparison. Well, we heard you guys do this. Where's the stick and where's the knife? Where's the pinchak salat and all this stuff? And it's like, well, you know, they got very few sticks.
Well, then
but a lot of hands.
Okay. just be patient with those people and explain to them what Jeet Kune Do is.
Well, it's like, yeah, we do. It's like exposure is different per
Right.
school,
Yeah.
per person, or per area, right?
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
You know, we just, like I said, do the best we can in teaching them what we teach.
Mm-hmm.
You know, our door is always open to any style,
Mm-hmm.
even beginners or people that have been doing it for years. It doesn't matter what kind of style you're doing. You know,
Do you
come in with
open-
a good attitude. Go ahead.
Do you
please.
open the door all the way up? Because I heard that in the old days, James Lee didn't open the door all the way up, so you had to crawl under it to get
Sometimes.
in.
Well, yeah, he closed it. He just had it open a little bit and let everybody know, hey, we're in business.
Right.
And for us, it's like, if it's hotter than hell, that damn thing's open. You know? You know? And if it's cold in the winter, yeah, we close. You know? Yeah. You know, it ain't like so secluded like before, you know.
Yeah.
But my father, he was there. He witnessed Bruce Lee in action. And he said watching him was just somebody from another realm. It was just super incredible, you know.
Yeah.
And there was other martial artists that were there that were good. They were really fast.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, man, Bruce Lee made it feel like they were in kindergarten, you know.
Right. Yeah.
They couldn't get past nothing, you know.
Yeah.
But that was his natural ability, you know. He could have been a swimmer, or maybe I don't know, could have done something else. But he probably would have been good in that too, you know. But the martial art was his calling in life.
I know you were just a kid, but can you remember seeing him in action for yourself, maybe?
You know, I could being honest, I never really seen him in action.
Okay.
Seen Jimmy,
Right.
and the other guys there, but when we seen Bruce, it was, you know, him and Jimmy. My father would sit there and talk. We just go sit there, and you know, Jimmy Lee would let us screw around in the garage, kick stuff, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, I'd never seen Bruce really do nothing.
Okay.
But you know, because he came to visit, you know.
Yeah.
And my father did though. He said he seen him in action, and he said it was something else, you know, something to see. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I know we're going back decades, but like the equipment that would have been in James Lee's garage, do you have any idea where any of that stuff is?
Well, from what I heard, some of the guys in LA came down and took some of it. You know. Yeah,
Really?
serious, really.
Really?
Yeah, and I know they got one of the dummies there, and I think they got the one that Jimmy Lee made that was for kicking and hitting. That's supposed to be out there somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, and it was all taken because you know, I guess maybe Craigland was too young to understand what was in front of him. He should have just got it and put it away. You know.
Right. Yeah. Okay, let me just make sure that, because I wrote down some stuff here. Okay. Give me, if you can, your understanding of James Lee's contributions to Bruce Lee, the young man. Because you said there was a 20-year difference between the two of them.
Yeah, it was like a mentor.
Right.
A mentor with another set of hands. You can only do so much by yourself and on a wooden dummy, you know what I mean?
Okay.
The wooden dummy will move certain ways to hone your skills, but you need somebody in front of you to dissect you and cut you off to make you think about what you just did, to refine your technique. That's what you need.
Yeah.
And Jimmy was the other set of hands. Bruce trusted him with the hands. He didn't really do it. The other guys were students, but Jimmy, in Oakland's eyes, Jimmy wasn't a student. He just took that role, you know, because he liked the back burner and Bruce Lee liked the spotlight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what happened back then.
Okay. All right. So that's actually the answer to the question, James Lee's contributions to Bruce Lee, the Kung Fu practitioner. But I was but I was talking about Bruce Lee, the young human being, not the Kung Fu side.
It wasn't all just Kung Fu. People think they got up and they taught Kung Fu until they went to sleep. You know, I mean, hell, man. You know, Bruce Lee mentored him, life, family life, things. You know, just things in general. My father used to go down to see Jimmy all the time. You know, he had something wrong because his dad died when he was very young, so he didn't have a father. He used to go see Jimmy. Jimmy mentored him on family life, everything, not just Kung Fu. People think, well, Bruce Lee got up. Okay, everybody bought a Great Dane. Everybody started eating Cheerios, ran at 5 a.m, right? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They copied him. There's a lot of copycatting going on, too, by the way. Mm-hmm. But anyways, Jimmy was his mentor as well, you know? He was like a father figure to him, too. and a good teacher as well. Yeah. So he honed his skills too. Yeah, he had a lot to do with this. A lot.
So I think that have you ever thought about this? You know, Bruce Lee seemed to have a knack for attracting mentors into his life. You know, because Seattle was kind of the same thing.
Seattle was they're stopping points, you know. Seattle was a stopping point, LA was a stopping point, and wherever else between here and New York was a stopping point, you know. He taught people here and there and things like that, you know. And Jesse Glover was the Seattle guy, and I met him one time. Nice guy, pretty good skill. But Bruce Lee stopped around a lot, you know. And then as he got into the movies, he really didn't teach a whole hell of a lot. Jimmy Lee was the main teacher there in Oakland, you know. He was continuing to do what he did back in the day. See, what a lot of people don't know about Jimmy was they thought that he was your ordinary little martial artist. He had a lot of things going in his head. He was already getting ideas like Bruce about cutting technique, moving the hand a certain way, getting in there. He was thinking different already.
Yes. Yeah, I get it. So he continued when Bruce Lee moved to LA, then James Lee continued to progress, continue to train
of course.
and innovate and what have you, right?
Yes, sir, he did. Like I said, the last thing probably my dad started with Jimmy Lee was the iron palm. Yeah, he gave it to a few people, not a lot of people. Okay. It's like giving somebody a loaded gun. You give somebody a loaded gun, they're going to do damage.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
With the iron palm, you got to be able to know your skill and when to use it, when not to use it. You know, it's something that ain't there all the time. You got to turn it on. If it means it makes any sense. Right. It's like, you know, you got to switch and you turn it on when you need it. You know, that comes to the qigong and to a lot of the practicing, working out with the shot bag and all the herb goes along with it. You know, that's old school, you know, style. Jimmy Lee's iron palm, I believe, came through a guy named Kuyu Chung. I don't know if you ever heard of him.
No.
Chinese dude. He wears the white pants, shirt off, very very thin, but he's slapping a stack of bricks.
Oh, I seen that picture. Yes. I know who you're talking about.
From what I know and heard, that's his lineage. That iron palm there.
I get it. Yeah.
There's a guy in Kentucky named Rodney Morgan, and another guy named Wolfgang Kruger. He's in Chicago. They're both iron palmists. Really good too. I stay more in touch with Rodney more, you know, and they sent me a good book with a bunch of different herbs that we use too. You know, different jows, you know, that we make them for what we need. Yeah. But Rodney was pretty sure because he knew a guy back then that sent me the Kuyu Chung jow that what Jimmy Lee used. You know, he was 99% sure that was it. You know, so there's like credit to a lot of people, you know, that help us. You know, but as far as a lot of outsourcing for different martial arts, I've never really done that. Right. If I get caught doing something, or the guys, or somebody else asks me, check out the technique, what they do, and then find the way to solve the problem. That's in every martial art, boxing, everything, made the whole works. You know, you look for the guy's problem, and if he catches you in something, then it's your job to work out where he did it, how he did it, and how not to let it happen again. You understand? Yeah, like that.
Yeah. So somebody on here was asking about I don't know why, about the name. If I mean, it's obvious, right? The name Jun Fan Jeet Kune Do, right? Does that have any meaning for you?
It just means Bruce Lee's original name for us, and that's what he labeled it at first, Jun Fan, because he was already doing something different. You know, like people don't understand. Now, he was born to do this. This was his calling in life, and he was geared towards this. You know, but he lived fast. You know, died young. Yeah. You know, who knows where he would have been now? Yeah. If he'd have been alive right now, he probably would have been back into the Chinese culture. He probably would have been doing more of the qigong, more of the internal stuff, because as you get older, you want to protect your body. You know what I mean? Right. So he would have probably got back to more of the roots. But he probably would have been one hell of an actor and a director. You know? Yeah. Yeah. Of course, he loves that.
So you think he would have spanned both the old culture and the new culture? You think he would have had a foot in both?
Everything evolves. Everything comes full circle. Everything in life, you know, it's like you know, you can only continue so far without getting lost a little bit. So sometimes when you get lost, you come back to where the roots are.
Right.
Once you find your roots, you redefine those again, then you can go further again, you know? You got to come back to home sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
See, that was one of the things that that struck me when I started doing the research for you guys, and that it was the maintenance of the traditional kung fu, you know, and what the old school traditional stuff brings to your art.
Well, what the old school stuff does for our art,
it
maintains the fundamentals and foundation.
Right.
There's a lot of stuff in the old school ways that you just can't deny, and that's the internal stuff, the medicine, the breathing, the iron palm, all the stuff that can hurt a person really bad. But if you can hurt a person really bad, you can also heal a person. You know, you got to be able to do both and understand both.
Right.
You know, so the Chinese kung fu in China is different from here.
Yeah.
They're more into it. That's their culture. That's what they do all day.
Yeah.
Over here, it's fast life.
Yeah.
You know, in the United States, everybody's got a job, quick to do stuff. You don't have very little time to do things.
Yeah.
You know?
Except for people like you, though. Except for people like you who are doing an excellent job of of maintaining a legacy, carrying a torch. You just got to be careful that they don't accuse you of appropriating Chinese culture.
Well, I want to give back to the Chinese culture. You know, I did it before. The article that we wrote, I've thanked the Chinese culture.
Right.
You know, for giving us the kung fu from you know, to our family, introducing it to us. You gotta thank whoever. I can't. People ask me, well, why don't you put your Macias name on the JKD? Call it Macias JKD. I can't do that. It's like me putting my name on somebody else's on painting. You know. Somebody does a painting like Picasso, and I put my name on his. That's stealing from him, and I don't like to do that.
I know what you mean.
I like to maintain where it came from.
Yes.
The more you bullshit and lie, the more you got to cover everything. You know, if you stay true to what you do, you don't got to cover hardly nothing. You know.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Make it honest.
All right, man. Well, listen. I just got the signal from my phone that it's going to go dead in about 5 minutes. So I want to thank you for. I'm sorry about all the confusion getting this.
Same here. Same here.
Yeah.
Can I introduce a friend real quick?
Please do. Please do.
Oh yes, sir. I'm going to introduce you to Alex Witter.
Okay.
Thank you.
How you doing, Mr. Woods?
I'm doing good. So you got to explain this last name to me, man. Witter. You don't look like a Witter.
It's my father's name. He's German.
Okay.
Mexican, Filipino, German, and Japanese.
Oh,
so my mom was
man.
Filipino, Japanese, and Mexican.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then my dad's full blooded German.
Well, look, thanks.
So
for,
people always tell me, "You what? Yeah, we're in places you can't see." So you know.
Well, look, thanks for the influence and getting the old man set with the technology, because we wouldn't have been able to do it without you, man. So I appreciate that.
Hey, no problem. Thank you very much for everything. And
okay,
it was difficult at first, but I'm glad we got it. So I'm glad we got this.
Yeah,
day
yeah.
done,
Well,
so.
we'll know how to do it better the next time we come around. All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, man. You guys have a good one. Take care. Thanks.
You guys take it easy.
All right.
All right.
Okay, that's how we roll. All right, so that was episode number 71 of the Jeet Kune Do Dialogues. So that's it. I will go through everything. If you need an answer from Sifu Felix, I'll make sure to get it to him and let him answer. But I'll look at what you guys commented. Feel free to share and like. Sign up for notifications for when we go live again, and also for when we post the final edit on the YouTube and here on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter at Dwight Woods, on Instagram at Dwight D. Woods. I told those of you who are on take number 1, next Friday, June 14th, episode number 72 with Gunnar Davis of Texas JKD Athletic Association. He's another young one, so the technology should work pretty well, pretty easily. right? And I think that's it. Okay, so I'll see you back here same time next week for another episode of the Jeet Kune Do Dialogues. This is Dwight Woods, the Jeet Kune Do Rebel, signing off. You guys have a great weekend. I'll see you soon.